Hi, we're here at the AI show with Maureen Heymans. She is the general manager of LearnX at Google, launching learning products across the Google ecosystem. Incredibly exciting. Welcome to EdTech Insiders.
Thank you for
Yeah, so the last time we got a chance to talk was in, I believe, November, right?
yes,
At Google's incredible AI, Learning in the Age of AI event.
yes.
And Google's just been making continuous strides towards building out and launching education products, education LLMs. What is top of mind for you in the time since November to April that we're here now about how the strategy has been evolving and continuing to grow?
Yeah, so what I always say is that, if you look at Google's mission, it's so close to learning, right? Organizing the world's information. And we already see so many students coming to our products, whether this is search or YouTube and Gemini. And so we have really been thinking of how we can evolve that learning experience from what it is today, right? From like answers to making it more engaging, from passive consumption to interactive, but also from like transactional to like stateful learning journeys that really help you on your goal. And so the way we've been thinking about it is in different areas. The first one is how do we improve our foundational models to be great at learning, right? And so it's been pretty exciting to see the progress on those foundational models. Like Gemini 2.5 was a big milestone for this, from being able to answer harder and harder STEM problems and getting better at STEM reasoning, to being able to better understand multimodal input. Like I always see when I look at my kids' handwriting, I'm like, oh my God, can anyone understand this? But also to be able to generate multimedia content, right? We have seen that with the audio overview, but then now we see this with image and video generation. And I think that can really help bring learning to the next level. So there's the foundational models. And then we look at how do we improve our core products? Because we get billions of users coming to Google for learning, whether this is for school, for work, or for life. And there we also have had a lot of exciting launches recently, right? If you look at Gemini, you have the launch of Canvas, deep research, audio overviews, bringing some of the cool features from Notebook LM. And all of those are pretty amazing in like helping you deep dive into topics, building critical thinking, getting feedback, but also really consuming content in different forms. So that's exciting. Then search, I think, is of course one of our biggest products, right? And recently we announced AI mode, which is in labs, so you can sign up in labs. Yeah. Oh, okay. Soon we'll be open to everyone. And yes, and so it's exciting to see how we can bring conversation to search, because search has always been such a transactional experience, right? You go for a question, and then we give you the answer. But we really want to encourage students to ask questions, to deep dive, to encourage like exploration and spark curiosity. And I think that's super exciting if we can do that in search. And then you also have product like Learnabout, which we discussed at the last podcast, and where we keep innovating and really seeing what we can do, and really infusing learning sciences, right? And just launch some new feature where you can upload your own content, so it can be grounded and more personalized to you. Also able to go back to your history so that you can continue on this journey. And then you have Notebook LM, which is still super cool project, and one of my favorite ones, because it allows me to consume a lot of content while in the car, thanks to audio overview. And again, I think they've been innovating with Mind Map, which is a cool concept where you can see how different topics are connected, which can also help you really, build your knowledge further. But also like being able to interrupt the audio overview and ask clarifying question, which is also pretty cool. And so yeah, it's just a lot of innovation. And so it's been exciting to see how Google is really embracing the opportunity across those products and really bringing learning to the next level, which is super fun.
Yeah, and across the products, I think, is the core term there, because there's so many different areas. Google has so much surface area and these things are coming together. I know that Google Canvas, which launched recently, you can use the Google Earth APIs inside Google Canvas to make incredible geography applications, or you can use there's just everything's very interconnected in a way that I think is really rich and very exciting for learning. And with the video generation, YouTube and video generation are obviously an incredible combination. And I think we can expect to see incredible educational videos. And then
Exactly.
YouTube is right there.
I'm a huge fan of the YouTube creators. They're like kind of the best teacher often, because they really know how to speak to students, and the amount of learning that happens on YouTube is really impressive. And so yes, making it easier for them to generate that content, because like I know they spend a lot of hours to get the content, like with the right pedagogy and being engaging and finding that balance. And so if we can help them do that, I think it's pretty amazing, because we'll see even more content, great learning content on YouTube.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you mentioned sort of this layered structure of going all the way to the base LLMs, making them better at teaching and learning, and then building infrastructure, building integrations, and up to all the application layer, the actual end user experience, which it's Gemini with gems and all the different things you can do in Gemini. It's AI search, it's YouTube. It's really an incredible ecosystem. And one thing that has struck me, we talked about this a little bit at the conference, is that Google is a humongous company at this point, and sometimes huge companies have move slowly, and we have not seen that with Google with AI. There's been a really rapid, constantly new things dropping. I tried the mind map feature that's in a notebook the other day, and it was just like things are launching very quickly, and there's just a real momentum in the Google AI for learning ecosystem that has been incredible to see. You're a longtime Googler. I'm curious how you've experienced that.
Yeah, no, I think this is super exciting time. I mean, in general for AI, but I think even more for education, it's been pretty amazing to see across the board, right? I mean, again, like you see, Google is a big company, so sometimes it's hard to align everybody to the same priority. Yeah. But the amount of excitement there is in leveraging the technology to really advance learning is pretty amazing, right? And I keep joking that yes, I've been at Google for 20 years, but it's been kind of the busiest time in my life in the last 2 years. But fun busy, because everybody wants to help, from DeepMind and research to search, YouTube, Classroom. It's just so much partnership.
You didn't even mention Google Classroom. It's it obviously pulls us all together.
But it's just like and Google Classroom is of course an education product at the core, so that's natural. Exactly. But to see all those other products like search and YouTube and Gemini really embracing education as a key vertical for Gen AI has been super exciting, and like how people are really sharing knowledge and really also again leveraging the strong pedagogical expertise we've built within the team, and making sure that we are really driving learning outcome.
That makes sense. It's really exciting. And I mean, one thing that's been so interesting about the notebook and audio overview is now in Gemini proper as well. Is that it sort of humanizes the AI in a way. It really feels like real people talking. You can listen on your car. Google acquired Character.ai a year ago or so, and which is one of the leading, creators of personalities, of sort of AI personalities. I'm curious if that is on the radar of learning, this sort of development of AI personalities for learning, if that's something that is part of this ecosystem. I know you haven't mentioned it, and I don't want to, get ahead of our skis here, but it's something that it seems like it could be a natural extension.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to find the students where they are, and I think every product will probably have a slightly different personality, because I think the expectations are different. But you definitely want a tutor that is encouraging, right? That is fun, that makes you want to learn and encourage curiosity. And so we'll definitely are going to look at how to do that and how to encourage those type of skill set that we want to see in every student. But I think every product is going to be different, because YouTube is really this curiosity platform, right? People come to YouTube because they want to watch some content, and often it's not because they have to do a homework. And so there, I think you can have a much more like fun, engaging tutor. Oh, yeah. In search, often they come because they want help on their homework, right? And so it's a little bit more task oriented, but we can still try to encourage them to stay for curiosity, to explore, to kind of dive much deeper. But I think again the tone will need to be different, but that's also something we are super excited about.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's so much to talk about here, but one question I have for you that is, Google is, especially Google Classroom, is so deeply embedded, and Chromebooks are so deeply embedded in the education ecosystem. I bet everybody here uses them on a daily or weekly basis. So, I obviously the Google education ecosystem is really well connected. Really, it's sort of looking from a very 10,000-foot view. Do you see a future, where the sort of touch points for educators, Chromebooks and Classroom, are sort of keep absorbing all of this incredible functionality that's being developed, whether it's Learn LM, whether it's video creation, whether it's ability to customize and personalize, whether it's AI search. Do you see that as one of the main ways into the classroom?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have been partnering closely with Classroom and of course there's Gemini for education. And so the Classroom team is really trying to bring all those features to teachers. And again, this is a different context. So you want there to have the teacher in the loop. The teacher should be the one deciding what's going to be seen by student. But yes, like integrating Notebook LM in Classroom, is a nice step, because we actually already saw a lot of teachers going to Notebook LM to create, study guides for the students, or even to create an audio overview and to ask them to listen to it before the classroom. And so, it's already happening naturally where teacher goes to those different tools, but we completely agree that if we can integrate them deeper into a classroom, into the Chromebook, I think it can become a even better experience. And then also making sure that, as you deal with students' data, that it remains, secure and private and all of that. And so yeah, I think, connecting all those consumer products into the classroom world has huge potential.
It really does. Google Vids, we didn't even mention, that's another amazing product for educators.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. So, wow, we could talk all day. There's so much going on in the Google ecosystem. I really love it. But I know you have a conference to get to as well. This is Maureen Heymans. She's the general manager of the LearnX team at Google. They're really doing incredible work for the education ecosystem. Thanks so much for being here with us on EdTech
Yeah,
Insiders.
thanks for inviting me. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.